All right, what do you have for me this week, Diego?
Check these out.
Kirkland. Okay, so a lot of you guys actually have requested these. I don't know if it's this particular style, but this is the Kirkland ladies brushed legging. And this is a 4-way stretch fabric, moisture wicking fabric, and side pockets. How much are these?
These are actually $15.
15. That's nuts. To be able to sell a product for 15, obviously Costco is not known for like super high margins. To buy anything for $15, especially a legging, that's a pretty good steal. Let's see how the quality is. You know, first off, this is a marled fabric, so the yarns are actually going to be dyed, and that's how you're actually going to knit it in this structure. And that's how you're gonna get these two different color variations. This is a 85 polyester, 15% elastane. Polyester is naturally sweat wicking, so that confirms their moisture wicking fabric. Okay, so these are made in Lesotho. Okay, so Lesotho is actually in South Africa. It's an interesting place to make these. But from what I remember, I have briefly researched in terms of expanding some of our manufacturing to South Africa. There is I think it's called the African Growth and Opportunity Act, and it provides duty-free imports from African countries into the US. I imagine these probably are going to fall under that category, but don't quote me on that. And you'd have to imagine when Costco buys stuff, they're buying stuff by the container load. It's not like they're placing a small order here and there, placing multiple containers, enough to create an entire kind of like economy around specific regions. So I imagine they're probably playing a big hand in creating a garment manufacturing base in this country. You know, a container holds between like 40, maybe 50,000 leggings, depending on the container and how they're stacked. You'd imagine they're probably dropping at least a container per city. So they're probably pumping out a lot of these at a time. And at 14, 15 bucks, that's pretty crazy. This is a brushed fabric. To brush a fabric, you are destroying the surface of the fabric to create this kind of peach feel. You can either do through a sandpaper process or a brushing machine. This is going to pill over time though, because of the brushing. And imagine, obviously at $15, the quality of the yarn is probably not the greatest. There are 2 pockets on the side here. Everything's flat locked. This is a defect over here on the flat lock. So when you're actually joining seams on a flat lock machine, one side actually has a blade that trims off the excess. So when I see this extra fabric here, either they're feeding it in too fast or the machine needs to be calibrated or fixed. But again, I'm going to be judging these as $15 leggings. Let's take a look at the inside. We have some untrimmed threads here. Stitching isn't the best. So when it comes to like Kirkland, I think they've established such a reputation in terms of being high quality. And when you're looking at the food items, you know, you're getting a lot cheaper price for something that's really good. I would say when it comes to this item, you're not getting a $100 legging here for $14. You're getting a $14, $15 legging here. Maybe 20, 25. Does the job in terms of its utility of covering yourself. Does it win points for style or brand awareness? I would say not, but again, $15 leggings. We have a gusset panel here with additional panel liner. Let's talk about where these are made again when it comes to South Africa. One thing I am seeing a lot of, and if you're a brand owner, you have to pay attention to this, is a lot of garments used to be made in China, particularly in a region called Guangzhou in the southern region of China. However, in the past few years, when it comes to garment manufacturing, more simple garments are getting moved out. 1, because of tariffs, obviously. But 2, it's just getting increasingly hard to find workers that are willing to work in the garment industry. When we went to China last, everybody in the factory is 35 plus because the youth have grown up with their Douyin, which is like their TikTok. They want to work at tech companies. They want to work at these EV companies. So China's becoming more of a place for higher technical, more specialized garments. And you're going to be seeing the basic stuff like t-shirts and other kind of more essential garments moving to lower cost regions. So if you are a brand that's manufacturing in China, just be mindful that over the next few years, your costs are going to go up, but you're also going to be able to get really good high quality garments out of there. And this is just a part of any industrialization process for a country. But again, back to these leggings, overall, 15 bucks, does the job. It's a nice soft fabric. Is it gonna last as long as a legging from, let's say, Lululemon? Probably not. These are gonna start pilling. But again, $15 here, guys. We're gonna throw this in the pill tester as well, just so we can see how pill resistant it is. But just to go over the rest of the branding, there is a heat transfer mark on this inside. There is a care label here, some hang tags with the Kirkland sticker. This photo is so blown out. I don't know if it's part of the printing process, but guys, do better. We have the store label in here. And then we got the medium hang tag. One interesting thing about Costco apparel, if you want to figure out the suppliers for these, just look under the shelf. All the boxes have all the suppliers on there. I don't know how much use it's going to be for you because unless you're ordering stuff by the container load and several containers at a time, they might not be able to work for your brand, but that's just a nice little tip I can give you guys. Just before I cut these up and put them in the pill tester, this is a 4-way stretch fabric. I don't believe this is actually interlocked. So interlocking, what you're doing is actually limiting the stretch of a fabric to prevent it from being sheer. This fabric itself, because it's darker, because it's marled, you're going to be able to hide a little bit of the non-sheerness. However, this is like in a very light color fabric, this fabric is going to be sheer. All right, so that's it for the kind of construction of the leggings. So let's take it apart. Let's throw it on our pill tester and let's break this down and I'll show you all the components you need to make these leggings. And then I will give you an estimation of what I think these cost to make in South Africa. So you see here actually with the waistband, a lot of brands, what they'll do is they'll fold over the waistband to give you a nice clean top. However, with these leggings, because everything is about cost, these are actually done in panels. So you're gonna have panels here and you'll be able to lower your fabric utilization by more tightly packing these panels together because your labor cost is gonna be lower in a region like Lesotho. Here's all the components you need to make these leggings from Kirkland Signature. Left and right leg panel, accent panels, pocket bags, gusset, and you have your waistband panels, as well as all your trims. All right, so that's all the panel pieces that you actually need to make these leggings. I would say in terms of machinery, it's fairly simple in terms of what they need to do. And in terms of construction, it's fairly simple. I'd imagine when you're making stuff for Costco for clothing, it's just a pure costing exercise. How low can you get that cost? How efficiently can you make this product? You need to pump these out by the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. So actually what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take 2 cuts. One, we're gonna see what the GSM is, and then we're gonna take another cut to put it through our pill tester. All right, so we have 2 swatches here, one for the pill tester, one for our GSM scale. Let's throw this in the pill tester and see what the results are. All right, so while that's running on our pill tester, let's see what the GSM of this fabric is. 240 GSM. So it's definitely on the heavier side for fabrics, which you can kind of feel. This is gonna be more of a kind of like warmer fall legging, I would say. All right, we just got back from our pill tester. I would say this would be a 3 in terms of commercially acceptable. However, this is not gonna be a really good long time wearing legging because of the pilling. What I would do is if you own leggings like this, and just any leggings in general, if you don't want it to pill as much on the outside, just turn them inside out before you wash them. It's that simple. All right, so let's recap. These are Kirkland Signature leggings made in Lesotho. These are $15 retail. These are marled brushed polyester leggings, 240 GSM. In terms of pill resistance, they are okay at best. Again, they're not gonna last you a long time. Very simple construction. When it comes to these leggings, you're not really winning style points on these. I would say this kind of design is like early 2010s. But again, these are like $15. When it comes to getting these made in South Africa, I think it's really cool to see that Costco is kind of spearheading a lot of these projects. By ordering this much volume in these regions, they're employing workers. And when it comes to a lot of garment industries are really one of the spearheading industries when it comes to any industrialization of specific countries. You're able to lift up an entire workforce of mostly women, employ them, empower them to be able to provide for their families. So, I would say good on Costco for looking at these other regions. I'm sure there's also financial incentives for them to work in these regions as well. So what I would say in terms of manufacturing these, your trims and your care labels, all this at the volume of Costco, it's going to be hard to say because they probably manufacture so much. This may be like 20 cents total. You got your heat transfer label, that's gonna be 5 cents. This fabric is a fabric I've seen for about a decade now. So you're not gonna need very complex machinery to run this. The yarns are gonna be bought by the container load. I'm not exactly 100% sure about the labor costs in Lesotho, but I would say this is gonna be a little bit of shot of the dark here. I would say these would probably cost maybe around like 5 or 6, maybe $7 to make in South Africa. But again, these guys are buying this by like the container load. I'd say if you're walking by Costco and you need a pair of leggings to run errands in, these can be it. Again, you're not winning any style points on it. These aren't gonna last a long time, but $15. You can't even buy a Big Mac combo for $15 these days. So there you have it, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let us know in the comments What other brands you want to see us dive into? This is what it costs.